straight back into the starting team alongside Jamie Osborne. Joe McCarthy in the engine room alongside Ross Maloney. It will be a titanic battle up top among the forwards. Jack Conan spearheading that Leinster pack, all under the watchful gaze of Craig Evans, the match referee tonight. 2 years since the Bulls were last here. Leo Cullen won't need reminding of that. It was the inaugural season, the playoff semi-final. Leinster lost a playoff match at home for the first time in 5 years. They will have not forgotten it, nor did they take it lightly. There is a little bit of unfinished business between these two teams tonight. They kick off straight into the hands of Joe McCarthy. And we are underway then at the RDS. As I said, it's still filling up as we tip into the opening couple of minutes here, but we are expecting a capacity crowd. They've opened up all the seats and all the stands, 18,000 or thereabouts, as Harry Byrne launches a bomb downfield towards that Bulls 10-metre line where it's collected by Willie Leroux. His experience in the back three will be crucial tonight. He's got plenty of pace around him as well. The likes of Curtly Aronson, Keenan Moody, as I said, Devin Williams over on the left wing tonight. Leinster disrupting. Ambrose Papier, as I said, back in at number 9 alongside Houston at 10. First mistake as the ball is spilled forward off a Leinster hand, so we've not quite yet reached the 60-second mark, and we're going to have a look at this Vodacom Bulls set piece via a scrummage. Bernard Jackman with me this evening at the RDS.
Yeah, the scrum comes from a little knock on the air from Rob Russell, but Jacques Nienaber, he's really implemented a policy where Leinster go hard after the breakdown. You could see the Bulls were setting up to box kick, and just Jack Conan counter rucks and just fires a body on the back on the toe of Ambrose Papier, the scrum half, and that just probably led to a box kick being a little bit shallower than he would have liked. But this is going to be a really interesting area. There's Jake White. I mean, he loves his big forward pack, and he certainly has brought one with him for this trip to Europe, and they're out here tonight. Now Leinster have gone strong in the front row and obviously on the bench, and in general the whole squad is very strong, obviously, because Leinster play next week against Leicester, but also Leo knows how good the Bulls are, and there's a game of real jeopardy here.
Yes, he's plenty of rubber on the road, of course. Former World Cup winning head coach Jake White, but interesting to hear him interviewed in the week, and still plenty of energy.
Boys, just keep working hard
what
on
he can bring, and what this Bulls team in particular that's been building over the last 18 months really can bring.
Yeah, chatting to him pitch side earlier with Leo Cullen, and just he still has that hunger and drive. You know, vastly well travelled, obviously won a World Cup, you said, but spent time in Japan, spent time in the top 14 with Montpellier. A lot of people thought he was out of the game, but was interested in this project, and you know, he's got good support in terms of being able to recruit, bring the likes of Johan Goosen back, bring Marcel Coetzee back, and a host of Springboks as well. But he's a winner, he wants silverware, and that's where he'll judge himself.
Set!
It's a big shift of power there. Leinster tried the first surge, met with stiff resistance from the Bulls, and it is the visitors from Pretoria that get the penalty at set piece time.
Yeah, huge amount of movement there, and you know, Leinster won't want to give that kind of picture to the match referee. You just see here, Wico Low goes down on the right hand side, but it's felt like Cian Healy has flipped his hips out. But if there's much movement, you'd imagine that's what will play into the Bulls' weight advantage. Leinster will want to keep it nice and compact and steady and make the play away from that scrum.
Appearance number 275 tonight in a Leinster shirt for the warrior and servant Cian Healy. Ruan Nordkia takes the delivery from Akker van der Merwe back into that Bulls front row tonight at hooker.
Now use!
Johan Krobler is on the bench, and all hands to the pump in a defensive set now for Leinster inside the opening 4 minutes on the doorstep of their own 22 and facing Marcel Coetzee. There was an anxious look towards the referee there from Harry Byrne as that tackle slipped up towards the head area of Marcel Coetzee. This is Papier now to try and fire this backline that's been functioning so well. 55 tries in the URC this season. That's 2 more than Leinster, and they don't get outscored by too many teams. Gerhard Steenekamp takes it forward now. Houston assesses the options, and the crossfield kick wasn't a bad idea with Curtly Aronson, but the execution let him down. They're back on to halfway. 4.5 minutes in, and that's a good tackle by Van der Fleer, and he's been helped out by Ronan Kelleher. Fly kick down towards that Bulls 22. Houston on a rear guard action, and they swallowed up by a couple of Leinster players. Good kick chase led by Rob Russell. Ryan Baird there as well. As we thought it might, it's noisy, it's fast, it's frenetic, and there's little tussles all over the pitch, even in the early exchanges. Lots of kicking too, as both teams try and size each other up a little bit now.
Player dropping.
Loss of footing more than anything from Jimmy Osborne's point of view.
Was good. Ball is lifted.
Luke McGrath, Josh Van der Fleer, instinctive first-time pass over the top from Harry Byrne. Not straight.
Scrum.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of those type of passes tonight, as they're called the bridge pass, where the playmaker feels there's a pass over the top of that blitz defence, and both teams have very similar type defensive strategies where the wingers will come up infield, get nice and high, and that pass is on, but you got to make it stick. And unfortunately, Harry Byrne there just drifted off his left hand, went forward slightly. But
7. 7. Okay, the last breakdown was 6. Play the game, nothing more.
Yeah, there was a bit of messing on the ground there.
Craig
Evans obviously got word in from his assistant referee. Just, I think it was Ryan Baird and the Bulls 7, Eric Lowe, was just holding each other on the ground. Really, there was nothing in it, just a little warning.
Good boys, stability.
You saw it a little bit earlier on. Goosen going for that crossfield space, but the angle was all wrong. But teams will threaten Leinster in that area, but Leinster will be happy that they had that space covered with Jordan Larmour.
Crouch! Bind!
Only beaten at home once in the URC. That was the Ulster game, if you recall, and there was plenty of crossfield kicking that night. Billy Burns really used it as a weapon. That's an interesting scrum, isn't it? Two front rows up, looking at each other straight, eyeball to eyeball. Referee was indicating an advantage. He's allowed play to continue. Papier makes good progress initially. Now he needs a little bit of support on an auxiliary scrum half, potentially. Ellery Lowe puts his shoulder to the pump in that regard. He's tackled by Ross Maloney. Van der Fleer is in there too. We're going back to the scrum infringement.
Yeah, and you said it was an interesting scrum, Conor. I'd say it was beautiful in terms of the power that the Bulls inflicted there on Leinster. Just twisted that whole Leinster front row. I talked about movement in the first one. You see Cian Healy's hips there. They're gone towards the touchline on the left-hand side, and then just that power comes through. And the back row follows him in, and just Kelleher has popped. It's just a really messy picture. You know, Leinster would argue that should have been stopped there, but I would always back the team who are in ascendance power-wise, and certainly the first two scrums, the Bulls have been really impressive.
It's a lot of damage being done, principally by the vastly experienced Vilko Lowe on that tight head side. 13th start in all competitions this season for him.
Come outside if I need to. Scrum's going forward, and you pop them under pressure.
Former Harlequins player, of course, scored a try in a Premiership final a few seasons ago against Exeter. Now then, first side at the posts for Johan Hussen, who's been kicking brilliantly this season. Second most prolific point scorer in the competition behind Ben Healy. Struck that beautifully. No problems whatsoever. So the opening salvo, 8 minutes in, and the first points of the night go to the visitors from South Africa. The Bulls lead Leinster by 3 points to 0.
Yeah, Johan Goosen is a phenomenal player. He's had an amazing career, but you could nearly argue he hasn't fulfilled his potential. Was in Racing as a youngster, signed for Montpellier, then had a bit of a sabbatical. I still think he's got a huge amount to give, even in the Springbok jersey. Real talented player, and hopefully he gets an injury-free run, and he's obviously playing with a team who are going to be thereabouts in knockout stages in both competitions.
It's remarkable to think it's 7 years ago now, is it, since he announced his retirement at the age of 24 or thereabouts, to much controversy, pomp and ceremony.
Use a 9!
He's certainly playing exceptionally well the last couple of seasons. No one puts a name on it. Rob Russell couldn't quite get there, so an element of confusion.
Yeah, I think Leinster's kick escort, so the players of Leinster running back to protect Rob Russell kind of got in the way. The kick didn't have as much distance as as they expected, and it was hard for Rob Russell to get past his own players to get there, but it's worked out okay for Leinster. Obviously first line out of the game for Ronan Kelleher.
Front is the option, and Ryan Baird. The aerial route is the option from the fly half. Harry Byrne, and the kick chase was led by Robbie Henshaw. Leinster there in numbers, and they're over the ball.
Leave it! No lift!
It's not going to result in a jackal turnover, despite the protestations of the Leinster players camped around that ruck.
Use an eye!
Yeah, pretty kick from Harry Byrne, though. It was just slightly outside of 22. And what Bulls trying to run from here is going to work out badly for them.
It's ambitious from Keenan Moody. Little feint of the shoulder, but then it was a difficult pass to execute from almost on the floor. But it was Henshaw's intervention that made it difficult for Willie Leroux.
That was perfect. Obviously, Willie Leroux would love to be able to mark that. Henshaw flies, he misses, but then it's Jack Conan or Jordan Armour putting massive pressure there.
90 minutes.
This is a great opportunity for Leinster. They're so good at converting these 22 entries into points.
All the way over the top this time, seeking out potentially Rob Russell, who's closest to it, but instead it goes to a Bull's hand, but not for long. It's back with the Leinster blue this time, and Harry Burns swallowed up on the tackle. His flank forwards arrived just in time to protect it, and taken on then by Jack Conan. Van der Fleer quickly back up onto his feet and into an attacking position. Luke McGrath, options left and right. Alaratoa leads the charge, running straight and hard.
Away, lads.
Steenekamp. Now they pull it out the back to Jordan Larmour, using that footwork of his. Got him easily beyond Keenan Moody. Robbie Henshaw.
Yeah,
it's a knock-on.
Knock-on against Leinster there, but you can see Leinster trying to draw Keenan Moody out of the defensive line, and then you have someone like Larmour. This is the line that goes astray, and in fairness, Leinster get the ball back. Just another little attempted offload there from the Bulls, which will have Jake White quite angry, but just here, that's the pass, and then Jordan Armour knows that the blitz is going to come hard and fast, and there's a slight dog leg on the inside, and he gets through that, but just there the ball is transferred and it goes forward. I think Leinster, there's probably enough of that to be the knock on. I'm not sure what the crowd are.
Rest on the bind, no pressure.
But worryingly for Leinster, it gives Bulls a scrum put in, and first two scrums have shown a little bit dominant there.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
The referee has seen a developing picture that's clear in his mind. All the power and all the pressure coming from the visitors.
3 scrums, 3 penalties to the Bulls, okay? Hinge, pop under pressure, now you're tight there going to his knee. I need a better height. I need you to keep this scrum on the floor. That's 3 and 3 now.
In 12.5 minutes.
Tight there to his knee.
A penny for the thoughts of Rodman McBride. They'll have prepped for this all week, I'm sure. Big weapon for the Bulls.
Yeah, it's a huge weapon. Look, the problem for Leinster is Michael Alatoa isn't a big scrummager. He's got a great work rate. It'll be really interesting how he fares in the top 14 next year with Claremont. But certainly he's under pressure here, and that's manifests itself in pressure all the way across the front row.
Safety!
Good, quick clean off the top ball.
No, you're holding it.
That line out for the Bulls. Yeah, there's always a penalty coming there. Harry Byrne was at the bottom of that rock. Could see it. Couldn't present the ball for his team.
You can't play the ball.
It's been a good start, hasn't it, for the Vodacom Bulls?
Yeah, we'll just see it here. It's a 2-man hit, as Leinster like to do.
Like posts.
But yeah, so Harry just gets stuck kind of the wrong side there. He'll argue he was pinned in, but there's a big onus on the tackler to control where he ends up and how he exits that ruck area. But I mean,
perfect where you are, thank you.
Back-to-back penalties from Leinster gives Goosen a chance to add 3 more points.
I know I've spoken to them now, Bridgman. Don't change your pictures. Keep exactly the same pictures on that far side for me and the AR, please, okay? Thank you.
Opening penalty kick executed beautifully, took him beyond the 100 points barrier for the season to 101.
Thank you.
running at around about 80%, and if he keeps kicking like that, the tally will rise and rise. That is a beauty from inside his own half. A wry smile from Johan Huijsen. 2 from 2, and just reward for the early pressure.
Yeah, sometimes to win away from home, you don't need to do a huge amount else. Be really strong in your set piece and have a good kicker. And you know, they've certainly laid down a little bit of a marker to Leinster. Leinster have to find a way to deal with that scrum weakness in particular.
That's been their access point into the game, and they'll quite happily go 3-6-9.
Use a 9
in the early part of this game. Build the score, make Leinster chase a lead. It's another really good kick. This time it's brilliantly taken by Rob Russell. That wasn't easy. Under pressure, good kick chase. He's having a super season, Rob Russell. Crowd getting thoroughly involved, trying to encourage Craig Evans. Pleading offside. Now they've ball in hand with Larmour. Galvanised by his involvement in the Six Nations and keen to take that form back into the URC. Harry Byrne now, who saw a couple of reps in the Six Nations off the bench, to Josh van der Fleer and Luke McGrath once more. Byrne all busy in action. James Lowe a long way in, linking up with his opposite wing. It's good strength in the carry from Russell again. Takes 2 to bring him to ground. And defend this time on Steenekamp from Ryan Baird.
It's there. Use it, please.
Frantic for 16 minutes. Lots of kicking, range of kicking. Leinster 9 to Bulls 10, taken by Huijsen. Now it's going to be a Leinster put in.
Yeah, but it looks like an unforced error, but I would give Leinster credit there. Ross Maloney just getting off the line, just gets in the eye of the big loose head Gerhard Steenkamp, and he makes the error. It'll be interesting what Leinster can do on their own ball. All the previous scrums have been an introduction put in for the Bulls. You just see it here. Yeah,
lads, okay.
Sees that pressure come from the outside with Maloney and inside with Kelleher. Knocks it on. Ross Maloney obviously signed recently for the Bath Rugby Club next year, 3-year contract.
He's
someone who'll be badly missed in Leinster. He's been a very dependable and reliable player for them. Is their line-out guru. Even when he's not playing, he's the one who comes up with the line-out strategy. And yeah, great to see him getting a chance to go and play somewhere else and maybe play a little more regularly.
Superb
servants. Bind.
Exactly 100 appearances behind Cian Healy. Healy on 275 tonight, 175 for Ross Maloney. A little bit of a flex from Leinster there as they keep the ball in. No decision to go channel 1, but it's a little bit scrappy over on that far side. That looks like it's a Bulls line out.
That's the risk when you play down a 50-metre channel there. You've got to be very detailed and aggressive to stay off the touchline. You can see the Bulls defenders coming across. Come in, good tackle from Devin Williams, with his buddies in the back row come across as well, and just that gives his pack a big psychological boost. Getting up from the scrum and seeing you've got a line-up put in.
One-handed tape by Ruan Vermaak in alongside Ruan Nordkia in the Bulls second row this evening.
That's once.
Van der Merwe leaves it for a scrum half. 2 in a row from Russell. He's done well. That's a brilliant pickup from Jack Conan and Harry Byrne as well. And then Larmour goes through 2 or 3. Jordan Larmour back on the inside. Brilliant try. Absolutely exceptional. Josh van der Fleer has a nasty collision with the post. But the build-up play from Leinster, the support lines, the offloading and the short passing was exquisite in the extreme.
Yeah, that's it, brilliant. And Larmour started it off. Just the injection of pace, being able to break tackles and then keep the ball alive. And Van der Fleer, as always, is in a great support position. He got a nasty collision there with the post when it didn't look like he needed to hit it. But there's no doubt about the touchdown receiver. Just see here, this is a take from Russell. And then he's quite loose with that offload, but that's the moment there where Conan just takes that ball out of Moody's hands, and then Larmour's in open field. Just see here, Moody comes flying and doesn't stop it, and then Leinster very direct, good footwork, breaking tackles. Lovely support from Osborne, but again, he just doesn't think, he has a call from Josh van der Fleer that he's on the inside, and he basically just catches and passes it while he's being tackled. Fleer's in a bit of trouble here. He's still getting treatment in the middle of the field. He's back up now, it's okay.
Come on.
No problem with the conversion for Harry Byrne, so what a riposte that is from Leinster as we approach the end of the first quarter. Let's look at that again. That's okay, he's hit harder things than that, believe me, with the padding. A little bit of attention just to the knee area, I think. He was up pretty quickly and getting on with things. His 29th try in Leinster colours for Josh van der Fleer.
And that's an area of Leinster's game, that counter-attack, that transition that has been really impressive. I've been a little bit worried about their set-piece launch this so far this season. Hasn't been as effective as in the past, but there, where the game was broken up, and against the Bulls, well, you got to be willing to throw those passes in contact, because if it becomes a collision fest, there's only going to be one winner. So really bright from Leinster there.
Well, already 19 minutes in, interesting to see that it's Jordan Larmour who's made a couple of incisive line breaks with that quick footwork that he has. It's very hard to hit something that moves as quickly and nimbly as Jordan Larmour when you're rushing up onto that blitz defence so quickly. Ryan Baird again.
Release! Real front.
Harry Byrne.
Hold, 999, hold. Wingers on.
Very, very tight to that far side. Russell did well to take it under pressure from Houston. Just lost his footing, and then Kelleher spills the ball forward.
Yeah, but it's a good kick from Harry Byrne, because he puts it in the middle of where Goosen has to come a long way for, and eventually Goosen realises he won't get there. There's a bit of contact there, but in fairness, I think it's a bit of a rugby collision. This is the knock-on, just from Ronan Kelleher. But again, you're running into the meat of the defence there, and maybe Leinster just need to take a little, half a metre back and take that ball in their own time and then accelerate onto it.
So many good hands in this try. The pickup from Conan was brilliant.
Okay.
Taking on all comers, wasn't he? Beautiful support line in the offload. That's not to be underestimated as well.
Yeah, the reason Van der Fleer could have kept going a little bit more left and he wouldn't have run into the post, but he wanted to put it down under the post. And he's been back to form over the last 4 or 5 games he's played. He obviously former World Player of the Year. Just covers some amount of ground, and he's not 100% right yet. He's still trying to shake it off. Obviously Leinster have Caelan Doris on the bench for covering back row.
So Leinster worried about one of their back rowers, but meantime it's Marco van Staden who's been called ashore here. Unfortunate to see his evening end after only 20 minutes. So Mpio Gumeda is going to come in earlier than he would have expected.
He'd be a loss by Van Staden. Very good ball carrier. He's not the biggest man in the world, but incredibly aggressive, good jackal threat. Let's be glad to see him lead the field.
Certainly will a really nice balance to that Bulls back row with Van Staden, Ellery Lowe and Marcel Coetzee, 17 times capped Springbok Marco van Staden with lots to bring to the table. Now look at the power eventually coming through from the Bulls. They're so dynamic in that regard, and away comes the new man just newly introduced, Gumeda.
Carry back, lads. Stop.
Deep in the pocket is Houston, and he hoists one skyward.
Knock on advantage.
It's another scrummage, and the more of these, the Bulls will be happier and happier. And
yeah, I think they will, because I could see Wilco Lowe giving a look to his back row. Why did they break away there? He felt that they were going to get a scrum penalty as they started to create that forward momentum, but this is a nice position for them to go and double down on that. Leinster looked like they had the number of the Bulls scrum for the first 5 or 6 seconds, and then that pressure and power just built.
Okay, let's go, please.
So Kelleher talking to his props there, trying to find a solution. They'll know that they got the rub of the green on the last one. There's nothing as demoralising as when you think if it locked out, next thing that pressure comes and you're going backwards. Very experienced Leinster front row, obviously. They're going to need all that experience now to try and find a solution to this.
400 appearances or thereabouts between them. The man nearest to us in your picture, Cian Healy, has done all the heavy lifting there. 275, as I said, and just the 129 in the Green of Ireland.
No.
Too much movement.
That's what me I should have waited. Okay, that one I agree with you. Okay, boys, the last 3 scrums, you've got a gap, good stability, on set. Okay, that was too much movement. Let's go back to that clear gap, please.
Look at there's no coincidence that's what's happened there, because Leinster have given the Bulls a clear gap. They've given them stability, and they've got destroyed really. And I think probably Kelleher's call was let's take that gap away. Let's make it a little bit unstable.
Both come
and try and
together
take them out of their rhythm a little bit, which is all one-way traffic. Got a good view of the gap here now. We'll watch how close they'll come when they come down. It's head to head.
Bind! Set!
Still a decent punch. Let's come after them there. And then.
Well, nearest to us on this side, the 2 front rows hit the deck. Cian Healy gets up to the plaudits for a Leinster penalty there.
I see it slightly changed the referee's mind, but more importantly, you get a chance to clear your lines. But look at that's textbook problem solving. But I think Leinster were very lucky they got away with that, because the second one they actually got a really good punch on the hit and then carried on. The ball isn't in yet. And you see Leinster drive there now. Look at Cian. For me, Cian loses his footing.
Thank you.
The touches on this side makes that call, but I think if you're the Bulls scrum coach or Jake White, you're pretty furious with that review, particularly when you've been shown how dominant you are when things stay clean.
Not clean ball, but it's good ball, and it could yet be excellent ball if Lowe can get his offload away. Couldn't quite manage it. Set upon by a couple of loose forwards in white. That's a very, very clever kick. Beautiful kick, and Harry Burns kicked exceptionally well in the opening 24 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And to beat the Bulls or any of the South African teams, having a smart kick strategy is really important. And just there, nice strike play, bringing Lowe back on the inside from Osborne, getting him over the gain line. You see it here. Nice tunnel pass. There for slight seconds a chance. And if he can get that ball away, then circumposition. But because they've got a little bit of a gain line, the wing is high and it's a lot of ground to cover in the backfield here. And you just see Devin Williams a little bit slow to get across, and now Leinster can get after this line out, which has looked very slick.
On the last line out, you didn't give the bowlers the numbers. So on this line out, I can't have you walking in. It's exactly the same. Time on.
Every little facet of play, both sides trying to eke out just the tiniest advantage. And all the tricks of the trade. That's a good variation. Nortgia gets his team out of trouble. Papier thumps it downfield. Russell. And away he goes again. He's beaten the first man. The advancing scrum half for the Vodacom Bulls. Jordan Lormer improvising. Got a call. Harry Byrne.
No problem.
Ryan Baird over the top. And again he drives those legs through the contact. Too strong for Devin Williams that time. Ryan Baird, Ross Maloney. Big collisions again. Vilko Lowe stopping his man. That time the intercept just wasn't clean. It was almost away. I think it was David Creel.
Not gone by.
All action. Ball was spilled forward by the advancing Bulls player. Almost made the interception.
Yeah, Harry Byrne is trying to play nice and flat, and that is key. But just there, the ball can't be in the air for as long as that. And yeah, Leinster lucky he just loses that. The big centre, David Creel in contact, because there's a lot of space in the backfield. He wouldn't have made it keeping the ball in hand, but he certainly could have fly hacked that down the field. He knows that's an opportunity gone missing.
Yeah, please. Sorry.
He's been in prolific try-scoring form this season. David Creel, 6 in this competition.
Come on, boys. You're both saying exactly the same thing.
Unused replacement last week at Rodney Parade when Vodacom Bulls played the long game really against stiff resistance in the opening 30-35 minutes at least from the Dragons. Much too powerful over the course of the full 80.
Crouch!
3 losses in this competition for the Bulls, coming against Edinburgh, Ulster and the Stormers so far. Now then, Luke McGrath. Harry Byrne delayed his pass for Osborne, and he punches a pretty big hole midway inside that Vodacom Bulls 22. This is promising from a Leinster point of view. You could see it comes through. Leinster penalty.
Yeah, but he took Luke McGrath out. Good attack from Leinster. Lovely play off the scrum. Harry Byrne being nice and flat. And Jamie Osborne, you know, we've seen him play lots of positions for Leinster, but many believe 12 is where he's going to be, and Leinster not taking 3 points. They want to have a shot at this driving maul here. But you see here from the play, just
on the line, please.
He gets through contact, and once you're on the front foot, then it's very difficult to stop them. And you could see at the next ruck, he comes in and takes Luke McGrath out, and rightly picked up by Craig Evans.
So what have they got up their sleeve here? Kelleher gets the call from Maloney, calls it on himself. And off go Leinster, and now the breaks come on from the Bulls. Where is it? Are they still in good shape? Are they still making progress forward? They are, you know, and the line is not a million miles away. Where's the ball? Try! Ronan Kelleher gets there. Brilliant from Leinster.
Yeah, that's exceptional, because a lot of teams won't go to the corner against the Bulls because of the size, the physicality of their pack. So when you go there, you got to score. And Leinster went for that shift drive down the front first, and the Bulls thought they had him going towards the touchline, but really impressive how they rebuilt it to go back open again. And eventually, from the behind angle, you saw that Kelleher was pretty much down untouched. So that control, you see here, Maloney catches it, has to reach for a little bit, but Leinster shift down the front. You see the way Joe McCarthy comes around and tries to build that back end of that maul, and they get a little bit of purchase. Look how close they are to the touchline here, so they have to work back. And you just see here Maloney at the front, Jocelyn Fleer, and then a wave of bodies coming around the right hand side. And, you know, Robbie Henshaw in there doing a great job, an impression of a forward, creating that space that Kelleher will eventually follow into and down for a try.
Now, will that come around quite enough? Not quite from Harry Byrne, but that's two lovely tries from Leinster, two very different tries. The first from Van der Fleer, the second from Ronan Kelleher. First one all about offloading and support lines, and brilliant finish, Ronan Kelleher, a brilliant maul try. I think, just speaking of Van der Fleer, he's still a little bit feeling the effects of that try, and that collision with the post requires a little bit of strapping to the left leg. And he's okay to continue.
Keep the space behind the kicker, lads, please. Okay, time on when you're ready, Ted.
So 12 points to 6 double scores. 30 minutes have flown by here. It's building nicely into the contest we all hoped it might be. We felt that it would be, given the form of both these sides, and in particular just how confident the Bulls have been in recent weeks.
Ball is there.
Top of the charts in so many of the statistics this season.
Use it, please, 9.
And this time touch is a sensible option and the Sage option, and that's a very good touch finder.
Yeah, look, it's early days, only half an hour in, but psychologically for Leinster to get to the next score would be massive, because I think at 12-6 the Bulls are happy to go 12-9, when really you want to put them into a situation where they have to chase the game a little bit more, because I think their game is definitely suited to, you know, to building a score line, and add to the scoreboard. But see what they can do with this launch.
Backwards from Marcel Coetzee. Touched in flight from Houston. Good kick chase by Moody, but he's spilled it forward. Russell does well. Osborne, instinctive, just shovels it this way to James Lowe. Now, does he get a lucky bounce? He's just overcooked it ever so slightly.
Been really impressed by Rob Russell. You know, his work in the air or his work back just to cover up, and then getting that ball out of contact. You see, goes into his hands here, just breaking that first tackle, and then that pass there. And Osborne knows that the wings are going to be in really high. It's actually not the wing here, it's the number 9, Ambrose Papier, but Lowe just wants to keep that ball in field. Usually his left foot is so accurate, big part of how Leinster and Ireland tend to dominate territory, but just there goes off the side of his boot a little bit.
Yeah, he's been really excellent. I mean, His try count speaks for itself very often. This go-to start for Rob Russell, as it may often be with a winger, is to go for his try ratio, but he's adding to his game all the while. He's still managed 16 tries in 27 appearances, 4 in his last 4. It's been his work on the other side of the ball tonight so far that's caught the eye. James Lowe somehow managed to knock that backwards towards Harry Byrne. He too has caught the eye. He's playing like a player full of confidence.
Yes, it's inside. Now use it, please. Ball is available there. No, don't count. Don't count. Let's go, please.
Touch is the option for Luke McGrath this time.
Yeah, so just the issue for the Bulls at the moment is they've got a lovely set piece. Scrum is very strong. Line-out's been really fluid as well, but when they've gone to the box kick, they just haven't got any change in the backfield from Leinster. And to be fair, Leinster haven't looked really convincing, but the little 50-50s are bouncing back on Leinster's side, and Leinster then exited pretty well. So you'd imagine the Bulls will just need to get a little bit of change out of some of these kicks they're putting up, so they can have back-to-back attacks.
Van der Merwe, good contest in the air this time. Maloney got up well, but it's Lyons' ball into the hands of Creel. Forced backwards though. Steenkamp.
Count the record.
Kutsia.
Carry back in the half. Leave it, boys. Leave it away.
Back inside their own half. Hoosen goes to the boot, testing that back three of Leinster again, and Lormer this time is equal to that one. First instinct every time tonight is to try and cut back and beat the onrushing defender. James Lowe got plenty behind that, but backfield positioning was very good from Philly LaRue, as you would expect it would be. And it is on indeed for Hoosen. Now he's got an option on side. Curtly Arons for the corner. Bumping collision. Grinds the ball. The Bulls get the try.
He's not good yet.
He's in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, that's my life, isn't it? Okay. Okay, I keep the clock running because the medic got him.
Brilliant.
Try will stand. Yeah. It's a huge collision though. Brilliant finish from Curtly Arons. I almost thought he was going to step his man on the way in as he slowed down.
Yeah, but Goosen probably isn't. He's not seen as being a counter-attacking threat in the backfield, but showed lots of pace there. Oh, it's a big collision when there's probably no chance of really stopping here. You just see the separation between Josh Van der Fleer and Jack Conan, and then you're not going to stop.
Yeah, I know. I've seen on the screen.
Arons from that distance. Luke McGrath comes across. He's really brave. It's not great technique. I don't think anything Arons does wrong there. I mean, he's protecting himself if anything else.
No foul play. There's a technical.
Yeah, you could argue it the other way. That it's, as you said, a pretty executed no arms tackle where Luke McGrath's come off the worst.
It's one of those ones I think if Arons goes down injured there and they start looking at it, they're going to pull up Luke McGrath, but it seems that they're happy to carry on.
Conversion will just stay out to the right hand side, but that's a that's danger with James Lowe's really long kick. Is that if they catch it on the full, it gives them time to reorganise for their counter-attack. And Leinster's defensive kick chase there was very narrow on the far side, and once they threw that one pass, I'm just going to look at it now, are they? Yeah, I expect they will. On review, it'll it's been upstairs to Ben Whitehouse, who is the TMO, and now it's going to be an official on-field review. But I actually don't think there's any contact to Arons' head. So it is a bit reckless.
See the back angle in slow. And to me it appears that it's an upright tackle from 9 blue, and there's head contact involved as well. Okay, so I'll show you the best angle first, which shows the contact, and then we'll move through from there.
And he's clearly coming at speed, then he's just coming across to make the tackle as well.
So here it is.
Yeah, there is there. Yeah, to be fair.
Always upright. He's not a great rap.
Craig,
it's the speed that he comes across.
Appears to be going through the body.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, but the heads do kiss together.
Yeah, I agree. So we've got head contact. We all agree on that. We do have foul play because the player is upright. Looking at the footage there, speaking here, we agree the most of the force goes through the body. You agree? Okay, so on that basis, it's going to be a yellow card to Brunei.
Yes, I agree, Craig.
Thank you very much. I speak to the captain.
Yeah, I think that's fair, to be honest. I think it is pretty reckless from Luke
McGrath. Is it Ross?
Coming across.
Yeah.
It's very unusual for Leinster to give that type of...
Are you the captain now? Luke's gone off.
Penalty away, to be honest. Usually
okay, who's the captain for Leinster now that line's gone off? It is going to be you. Yeah. Okay. We got hard contact and we got foul play. Most of the force is going through the body, so that's where we arrive at the yellow cards. There'll be no replacement for 9. No, it's just make us
so that's the decision. Luke McGrath has already left the field to be assessed, presumably for a HIA.
If it was after the try was scored, then it'd be a penalty, yes. It's a normal restart, lads, okay?
Yeah, so Marcel Coetzee is asking, would it be a penalty to them on the halfway? Yeah. But Craig Evans, match referee, said if it was after the try was scored, it would be, but was it the act of scoring a try? So it'll be Leinster's kick-off, but great response for the Bulls. In fairness, they haven't really done anything with their backs until then. But as I said, it was a long kick from James Lowe.
Time on.
And Leinster just didn't fill the field as well as they would have liked to. Brilliant from Goosen.
Interestingly, Curly Aronson, who scored the try, has not gone off for a head injury assessment. He is still on the field. Luke McGrath has gone off and will stay off for at least 10 minutes anyway because of the yellow card sanction. It's a decision that will merit significant discussion.
Okay, competition over now. 9, use it.
But Field had the injury, so to speak, gone the other way, and Aaron said stay down. And Luke McGrath might have felt a little bit lucky with the yellow, but significant contact through the body was the decision. And only a kissing of heads, to quote the officials. 15 against 14, 1 point game, 12-11 in favour of Leinster in 3 or 4 minutes remaining in this opening half, which has been pretty full throttle.
Bulls
are
there,
winning the penalty count.
Thank you. Holding on.
Luke McGrath was the Leinster captain. Now Ross Maloney is the on-field de facto captain.
Yeah, it's not the first time Marcel Coetzee has turned over Leinster ball. It was a real thorn in their side for many years when he was with Ulster. And great to see him still playing the URC. Incredibly dominant force when he's on fire.
31 times capped, Springbok down the years, 5 seasons, injury blighted. The opening couple of those certainly at Ulster. There's still more than enough time to make a huge impact.
6, lads. 6, you said?
Yeah, no, here. That's perfect. So can the Bulls do what good sides do and make that numerical advantage pay dividends on the scoreline? Van der Merwe gets it back from Coetzee a little bit deeper this time. From Papier out to Aronson. Fancy's trying to stand up Rob Russell, and he's got beyond his man, and he almost got past James Lowe as well, and it gives Bulls that front foot ball just 5 metres out, and they go to David Creel. They've turned it over. Leinster somehow. Alatoa gets his pass away.
No, not a problem.
And if Leinster can kick their way out of trouble here, they'll have felt that's a big moment to survive. Lowe needs to find touch and doors.
That was massive there. Huge counter ruck. I think Jack Conan just, you see it here, brilliant from Aronson. Like the power he has here to knock Rob Russell back, get 4 or 5 metres. From the next phase, they're on the front foot. Big carry. Watch his counter ruck here. Conan, and he kicks the ball backwards. Watch him hook the ball back here like a hooker. And that's the key moment. If he kicks that forward, it's a penalty. And then obviously Leinster survive. But Bulls went wide there and looked really dangerous. The set piece has been really strong. You're worried for Leinster for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, that felt like a 5 or 7 point intervention.
Nice gone.
Need to hold out here, though. It's that man again, Aronson. He's causing all manner of problems coming infield, looking for work. There's another counter up. This time it's illegal because Keller has come through and played the 9 in the eyes of the referee.
Yeah, there were short bodies at that breakdown. The Bulls. Keller got a turnover in his eyes. Couldn't resist. They're going to kick to the corner here. Going to take 3.
What would you like?
Looks like they're going to take points.
Shot called.
But that was a nice attack again, bringing Aronson into the game. You see here, they're light bodies, only one cleaner, which is the second row.
I think the indication was 39.
And they go after them, but you can't touch the 9 those situations. Keller will know. But it's just pressure. It's pressure from the Bulls. Good attack. Running onto the ball with speed and power.
As long as they enter square, that's fine. Okay, I hear you. Okay.
Just chatting to some Leinster fans on the way in, Connor. Like, they all came here with a sense of this is going to be a contest, and unfortunately, a lot of these home games, you know, you kind of know the result coming in the gate, and the Bulls have backed it up. On paper, it's a very strong team. In terms of the league results, a position very strong team. But what they put on in the first 40 minutes, this game is very much in the balance.
Perfectly poised at half-time, a half that ends in a fashion similar to which it started, with the metronomic boot of Johan Hussen. 3 tries in the game, 2 for Leinster and 1 for the Bulls, but it's the men from Pretoria that have a narrow lead at half-time. At the RDS, it's Leinster 12, the Vodacom Bulls 14.
Their coaches, we got Malahide, Newbridge, Westminster, and the
Welcome back to the RDS. All set to go then for the second 40. And what a pulsating opening 40 minutes it was. It's a massive weekend in the URC. Some titanic tussles over the course of the next 24 hours. Well, this has been a pretty good start to the weekend. 2-point game as they turn around and come back out of the sheds. Quick shot of Leo Cullen and Jake White. Penny for their thoughts and words at half-time. It's been an interesting tactical tussle between two sides. Harry Byrne has more than played his part with a interesting, very kicking game. It's not too often at half-time you could describe the half-time atmosphere as a little bit restless and anxious, but that certainly fits the bill this evening.
Use a 9!
Late Johan Hoosen penalty. 3 from him in the first half, giving the Praetorian side the lead at half-time. Did that carry 10? Nope.
Offside within the 10.
Yeah, it's been an area that I think Ambrose Papier won't be happy with. It's just his kicking there. And you see it,
within the 10.
If that ball doesn't go 10, players have to retreat. And the Bulls players didn't. They moved forward, and it's an easy penalty for the referee to pick up. But again, last time Leinster kicked to the corner, they managed to find a gap for Ronan Kelleher to squeeze over.
A couple of players there, okay?
It's a little bit of a coach killer, isn't it? It's an errant kick that gives excellent field position, the perfect platform for Ronan Kelleher. Got to secure the ball, and Maloney does that, as he so often does, almost nearly does. Van der Fleer, we've seen him score those breakaway peel off round the front tries in a green shirt for Ireland and the blue of Leinster. Making his way through the middle there is Ruan Nord-Kia. Didn't quite see an outstretched arm of the referee indicating that he was infringing.
5 white, side entry.
Okay, it is side entry, penalty advantage. They've turned that over, but it's going to be Leinster ball.
5 white. Five white side entries, a call from my assistant.
In fairness to the Bulls, they really made a mess of that maul. Piled in bodies everywhere, as you often have to do, but just got picked up from a bit of side entry. Harsh enough, to be fair. Unless you get a second chance at it.
So you've got to be squeaky clean if you manage to get your way through. You've got to create a picture that says it comes straight through the middle.
Yeah, but I think the first fence you can actually risk it. You just got to pile in, particularly when you've conceded one a little bit softly in the first half.
Time on.
Put pressure on the referee. The last couple of lineouts here, Bulls have given Leinster completely the front. You'll see the way they set up here. And Leinster have gone and taken that, but you see the space there where Jack Cronin is. There's only one guy who's on a lifter. Yeah, Leinster went for the no jump. End up getting the ball back.
It was tempting.
Okay,
and they bit in on it, Leinster, and then they were foiled. James Lowe does well. No scrum half, of course, for Leinster, so double jobbing is the winger. That's a pretty good pass to Harry Byrne. Joe McCarthy takes a lot to put him in reverse that quickly. Straight to his backside in the shadow of those posts, midway inside the 22. Ololatoa gets it away to Kelleher. Van der Fleer now. Harry Byrne, lovely pass to pick out Henshaw, and he gets his pass away after the tackle from Curtly Aaron to Jimmy Osborne. Beautifully back inside from Harry Byrne. He's brought his A game tonight, the Leinster fly half. He looks really lively. They're all taking their turns at scrum half. Jordan Larmour now, Cian Healy.
Release White!
Again, he stopped pretty quickly. Huge collisions, time and time again. That's Vermaak this time, stopping McCarthy, and then Ryan Bird is driven backwards. It's brilliant from Stina Cameron. Kuchia was in there too, two-man tackle again. Conan. Larmour. Harry Byrne was well left by Joe McCarthy. Osborne under pressure from Houston.
So with Luke McGrath in the bin, Larmour's playing 9. It's just killing Leinster's speed of ball a little bit, and obviously the aggressive defence from the Bulls as well. It might be a high shot there. Cian Healy seemed to knock it back. Oh, Larmour got through the middle.
Having a little snipe. He's warming to the task of auxiliary 9, makeshift 9. Van der Fleer, same tactic. No way through this time. They're all having to go. Ross Maloney, that was a good pass, wasn't it? Henshaw around the outside, bounced off the first tackle of Creel, back inside to Lowe. 17 phases now, all hands to the pump defensively for the Bulls. How long can they hold out? Yes. Even against the 14 with a man extra. Larmour wasn't expecting that.
Release!
And he's done okay to retain it. James Lowe, and Lowe now for the corner. Will not be stopped with the power that he has. Steals in on the blindest, the shortest of blind sides, and James Lowe gets the opening try of the second half.
Yeah, that's a brilliant try for Leinster, because it looked like momentum was gone. 18, 19 phases, and he hadn't really gone far across, but without a 9, they've had to improvise, and we saw Larmour pick the ball, go through the middle, Van der Fleer through the middle as well, but it's actually a little dart down the blind side, and it's Joe McCarthy who gets that one-handed offload, which just sucks in the defender. You see that pass there, so Devin Williams doesn't think Joe McCarthy can get that ball away. He's coming in to make a two-man hit, and then he can't get back out to get to James Lowe on the outside. Really good play, really good play. They were slightly short, probably Bulls would like another man at least covering across there. Once James Lowe gets past the first man, it's going to be impossible to stop, and despite the effort of Ambrose Papier, you're not going to stop an international class winger like James Lowe from scoring there. So Leinster's decision to go to the corner has been vindicated again, even though it didn't come from the source they probably would have liked. So what caused that line out to go astray was Leinster were going for the no jump throw to Jack Conan, which means you can get the maul build quicker, but just didn't get it right. And from there, in fairness, the Bulls would have fancied a chance to get a turnover, but brilliant ball recycling from Leinster. And they go back into the lead.
Big 7-pointer. What a conversion that was from Harry Byrne. He's playing with a little bit of swagger this evening. Get the messages across. Calm as you like and cool from Leo Cullen in the heat of battle.
Got it back.
A few changes coming here. Maybe that was the message. They've got them on pretty quickly. Michael Milne is coming in, Tag Furlong.
Keep it treating blue at a 10.
Jamison Gibson Park has come in for Luke McGrath. So a flurry of changes. Leinster go to the bench. 19-14 is the margin. Jordan Larmer's looked very sharp now. Rob Russell, has he got the gas? He's got the support. Jamison Gibson Park to Harry Byrne as Leinster turn on the swagger and the flair. 2 metres shy. Gibson Park, short pass. First touch of the night for Michael Milne, and it's the bonus point try.
Oh, that's brilliant. Again from deep. Milne's the one who gets over at the end. It's become a bit of a try-scoring machine on limited minutes, but just the creativity down this right-hand side. Again to Hurt and Gibson Park. Really positive support line, but I've been so impressed by Leinster's endeavour and intent to keep the ball alive. That's a great pass there to get him on the outside. Larmer's been excellent. Rob Russell, it's that pass there, and then keeping the ball alive. Lovely from Harry Byrne. And Larmer probably would score only for his slips, but there's no stopping Michael Milne. You can see there the Bulls haven't had a chance to reset. That ball presentation, that speed of ruck was top notch. And pretty ruthless.
Super try. So much to admire and unpack about that. Options and angles and support are plenty. Two quick-fire tries. And he brings it around beautifully on that high draw, right to left. He had a real hand in the try as well, Harry Byrne.
Yeah, and he's probably not going to play a huge amount longer, but obviously his brother Ross on the bench, but he's been excellent tonight. Excellent in all aspects of his game. Looks really confident, as you say. And Leinster haven't had a huge amount of possession, but when they pull a trigger, they just look really bright. And you can see the bench appreciate that. Michael Alatoa in particular.
Yeah, I think that's the point, isn't it? They've scored 4 tries against a very good Bulls side, and it's not really been that type of game.
Get to his feet, no problem.
And yet they find themselves leading 26-14. Confirmation
of back in the 22.
Those switches for Leinster.
Yep.
Huson hit hard by Henshaw. No let up in the physicality. Now the short side. Gumeda, possibilities here for the replacement flanker.
Release White.
Dan Sheehan is in as well for Ronan Kelleher, as you can see, wearing 16.
Yeah, Sheehan as well to get a passing channel there.
Yes.
You can see Leinster flying into counter ruck, and sometimes when you do that, there's a little bit of space on the blind side, and in fairness, the Bulls spotted it, but Leinster get back and get a turnover.
Use a 9.
Really important for the Bulls now.
Leave it.
They score next, or at least get a little bit of territory. Leinster going crossfield.
Brilliant sweeping pass from Harry Byrne. It spent a long time in the air, and Larmer had to wait for it, in which case David Creel was up to make the tackle. Bulls off their feet. Steenkamp penalised. Gibson Park thinks about going quickly.
Supported body weight.
Yeah, sorry, when I said crossfield, I didn't mean kick. I just meant from left to right. Saw that space. You'd see it in the second. Great pass from Harry Byrne. That's exactly what Larmer wants, just that opportunity to go one-on-one. But in fairness to David Creel, he hangs on to him for dear life, and
just let him go, okay?
They give away a penalty at the breakdown.
Just let him go when he's on the floor, please.
Yeah, they've been hit below the watermark, the Bulls, at the moment, and they're taking on water at a rate of knots. Just need to do anything to stem the tide.
What number would you like? The HIA.
Yeah, Robbie Henshaw's gone off for HIA. What a wedding present from Leo Cullen. He got married on Monday, and your wedding present is you play the Bulls and try and mark Kellen Moody on his Friday night.
You happy? To continue. Okay. Time back on.
Well, it's his own bravery as much as anything that has forced him off there. So Liam Turner is in.
The 2 HIAs now, is
to
it?
be assessed.
So 11 White is going off for the HIA. Now you're happy to continue both
Devin
done,
Williams, we're hearing from Craig Evans, is going
Sorry,
off for
guys.
HIA
Time
as
on.
well. So Harold Forster is in for the Vodacom Bulls. This is Dan Sheehan.
Knock on.
Is that his first delivery? Didn't quite go to hand. Instead, it's the new man for the Bulls, Forster, who pumps one a little bit too far into enemy territory, and it'll come all the way back.
Yeah, it's just important the Bulls don't implode now. Momentum's shifted massively for Leinster, and that was a great opportunity off a turnover to get a little bit of field position, but unfortunately for Forster, he got his angles all wrong and come back for a scrum. And be interesting, will they try and get after this Leinster scrum now? And they haven't really done much on Leinster put in.
What Andy said, yeah, number 2.
And obviously lots of changes on here with Furlong coming on and Sheen.
Replacing for the Bulls, number 16, Johan Grobler replacing
Johan Grobler coming in for Akker van der Merwe.
Under pressure, you take the ball, so the advantage is over. No, the advantage. Yeah, you're under no pressure. Advantage over for the knock on. Use the scrum, please, lads.
Johan Grobler, if memory serves, was hugely instrumental in that semi-final playoff win for the Bulls here 2 years ago. He had a massive game.
I'm coming this side.
Yeah, he's been a big part of the Bulls over the last few years, but obviously now he's sharing the game time more with Akker van der Merwe, who's come back from having played in the Premiership. They've got 2 very good hookers, as Leinster obviously do as well, with Kelleher and Sheen.
Yeah, Akker van der Merwe for 4 years at Seal, during which time he scored 31 tries in 70 appearances. So he's pretty handy.
Set! Steady!
Solid and stable, and potentially maybe a little bit more than that on the Leinster put in. They're going after it here. They'd love a penalty, but the ball is there. Gibson Park, how did he manage to squeak that out the back door? Rob Russell, little dink in behind. Turner off and chase off the floor. Didn't quite go to hand.
Whoa. Calm it down, please.
Yeah, that's much better. A strike off a brilliant scrum by Leinster. They definitely had to go forward here, but just a wrap play with Gibson Park and Larmer sweeping from left to right, and just so unlucky. Russell really brave, but again it's just trying to keep that ball alive, trying to be ambitious. Eventually the error is made. Good by Russell. He knows he's not going to get around David Creel.
I don't know, it was a good fight then.
It's easy in hindsight, but that's probably one you can hold, you can keep. You're already on the front foot.
You said we were caught on the height. The bind stay up, they don't come down. The bind stay up. Ball come down, ball away. Let's go, please.
He often makes an immediate impact, even when he comes off the bench, and he's looked extremely lively. Hit the ground running. Bulls have spent more time than they would have liked down in this corner of the pitch in the last 52 minutes. Not a piece of real estate they want to stay in for too much longer if they can exit cleanly here.
Steady!
2 foot rows are down, the ball is playable. It's a Leinster penalty. Consultation with the assistant referee on this near side. Chris Busby, I think it is, and that's the decision.
Yeah, it could be turnaround in scrum fortunes, and obviously there's
elbow down, collapsing.
Different personnel on the field, but Furlong will enjoy that. It's not easy when you're watching your front row teammates suffer in the first half, but just see there a bit of pressure coming on, and the officials working together to get that communication in.
So they go to the front to Bird, and then they peel around the front on this short side. Ball tucked up under the sizable arm of Dan Sheehan. No momentum, so he was almost forced to break away. Bumped the first tackle. We've seen him so often bump 2 or 3 and make it there, but the Bulls are disrupting and counter-rucking, and they get the penalty.
18.
Yeah.
Counter-ruck is good. 18 side.
Very good defence from the Bulls. They decided they couldn't be passive.
Hold it a sec,
couldn't let Leinster keep the ball like they did in the lead up to the last low try. Make Sheehan break away from that maul and then just go after that breakdown. Throwing a lot of bodies in there. And Leinster in fringe coming into the side trying to keep the ball.
Number 10. 10.
Replacing for Leinster, number 22, Ross Byrne. Replacing number 10, Harry Byrne.
So Harry Byrne goes off after 54 minutes, replaced by his brother Ross Byrne, and For my money, that's got to be up there in terms of performance of the season for Harry Byrne. It probably goes back to the La Rochelle game away from home when he was forced off through injury after 39 minutes and looked in brilliant form, but good all-court game tonight.
Look, he's so highly rated by the national coaches, the Leinster coaches, the players he plays with, but just had a third time. Whenever it looked like he was going to get a bit of momentum, his body has given up on him. But tonight, I agree with you, up against a quality side, he's just pulled the strings brilliantly, real variety in his game. He looks so composed as well. He's laid down a marker, obviously. You know, the next 4 I'd have after Jack Crowley in terms of Irish international selection are all in Leinster. When you include Kieran Frawley, and obviously Sam Prendergast is part of that development with Ireland as well. So you have to be good when you get your chance in the Leinster jersey.
Close the gap, please.
He's certainly done his case no harm tonight.
He leaves the pitch and says to his older brother, don't mess it up from here, we've got a 12-point lead. See it home. And they'll have to try something a little bit different. They'll have to roll the dice a little bit. Most of what Curtly Arons has done tonight has been near perfect.
Entry from yourself, side.
Not quite there.
Yeah, I think James Lowe will be delighted that he dropped that. Now, Lowe was in a really good position. He just tracked that ball all the way across. But someone like Arons, who has that speed to take you on the outside or power to run over you, you just don't want them to be getting the ball in that kind of space. So I think the Bulls knew they were on a penalty advantage.
And he's so good, Curtly Arons. He started all of the knockout games at the World Cup, you may recall. Scored a brilliant try against France, on target against the Scots as well. Try last week against the Dragons. It's 3 in 5 URC matches.
Yeah, it comes from that maul. And again, maybe that's an area they need to just go to a little bit here.
Over the 15.
Straight.
All the way over the top and into the grateful, accepting hands of Tadhg Furlong.
Hold in front, Blue.
They've been strong on defence when they've been put to the pin of their collar in the second half, but it was an attacking force. The Bulls of the Leinster half of the field has been a little bit of an alien territory. And you feel if it's going to come from something like this on counter-attack out of nothing. Billy LaRue won't have the legs, he needs the support. He has the support in huge numbers. That's a little bit high on Curtly Arons, a penalty advantage, but they need to seize the opportunity and try and capitalise with 5 or 7 here. Back inside to Vermaak, crossfield kick option here, the cover from Osborne. And the kick not executed back for the penalty, but that was an opportunity.
Yeah, it was brilliant. In fairness, once the game breaks up, the likes of Arons can cut you apart, and no kick chase is going to feel comfortable with him running back, and just comes from a turnover, block down ball off Joe McCarthy's feet, and there, bang, and you look at this great angle here. The whole field opens up in front of him. He links with Willie LaRue. I think maybe Willie LaRue a couple of years ago would have felt comfortable to go the whole way. He throws that ball over the top, hoping to find Arons, but unfortunately, he finds a second row in the way, and that just gives the ball eventually gets to Arons. But Leinster covers across, and you can see Ross Byrne is the one who gives away the tackle, the high tackle.
10 metres, boys, please.
I thought for a second Willie LaRue was going to have to back himself, that there wasn't an easy pass on. He managed to execute it at high speed off his left hand. Did score a try on his debut for the Vodacom Bulls in round 6 against Connacht in Pretoria at Loftus Versfield. Get the ball in the hands of Curtly Arons, and that's the advice, surely.
I'd say his advice first is take this down and maul him over.
Yeah.
Oh, the Lions got astray again. Haven't looked so good in the first half.
Oh, it's so cheap. Listen to the noise now. The noise of the ground rumbling under the kick chase from Josh van der Fleer. Crowd enjoying this. And why not? It's been brilliant. Larmer. Oh, away he goes. Back inside Osborne. Hard to see from the commentary position. All the Leinster fans immediately on their feet there every time Jordan Larmer steps off right or left. Joe McCarthy. Slightly more of a blunt instrument, but a lovely little deft pop off the floor then. Osborne. Jamison Gibson Park into Milne. Bonus point try score. That didn't go to script because Conan was surprised, and more surprised was Furlong. Couldn't hold it.
Just a knock-on advantage.
Improvising his North key, and when you kick it away, you've got to collect it because it was advantage over Creel. He's got the option on the inside. Do they have support runners? Papier's quick, he's got nimble feet. He needs support. Brilliant tackle from Ross Byrne. Scragged his man and tracked him all the way. Picked up by Grobner. Papier now to Gerhard Steenekamp. Taken the ground by Ryan Baird. Back on that short side. Was that the right decision? All the numbers were stacked on the right-hand side. Could see it. Trying to go straight through the middle. No offload coming. Leinster offside. At least they'll have a penalty.
Yeah, brilliant improvisation by the Bulls again in their own 22. They know they've a penalty or knock-on advantage. A little chip over the top. You see that? This is where the possession comes from. Tyke Furlong's not expecting that ball, but a lovely chip over the top by Willie LaRue. Picked up by Creel. But just Leinster scramble. It's brilliant by Bulls, but look how quickly they get back. Just that pass is just on the inside shoulder, and it gives Leinster a chance. Ross Byrne's the one who makes a tackle eventually, and in the next phase Leinster had a full defensive line set up and reset and made the Bulls have to play a couple more phases, and eventually they give away the penalty there. But it's a poor kick into the corner. It's a long way out for the drive, but worryingly for the Bulls, the last two lineouts have just gone completely astray with the introduction of the substitutes. The communication is just broken down, but they've had a chance to have a huddle here, so you expect it to be a little bit more on point.
Ruan Norkia is the player who calls the line out, and he calls it on his mate Ruan Vermaak inside him. 6'7", 25-year-old lock forward brings it down, and Grobler has it. Is there space? Is there momentum? Can they get that far? Gromeda goes in. Forster there to Creel. All hands to the pump. Shoulders to the wheel. They'll be patient here. They'll love a penalty advantage to try and play something out the back. Aronson then comes in off the short pass from his replacement hooker. Willie LaRue standing behind, orchestrating things, and he wants the likes of Coetzee to take it on.
Leave it, hands off!
Final quarter of the game. Is there a route back into the contest for the Vodacom Bulls? You feel it has to be now, or perhaps never. Creel.
And they don't want to be bouncing back down the blind side there. They want to go the same way. Just the energy in the forward pack. It wasn't there. It's starting to come now. Leinster
over it. That's down to Sheehan. Steenekamp can't get his hands on it, and Sheehan pilfers the ball. Massive defensive moment.
Yeah, it's a really good by Leinster. They made him play away from the maul. And then, in fairness, the Bulls just ran out of numbers, so they ducked back down the blind side. And this is where the penalty is. See, Sheehan, he should be made tackle there. He should be made go to the ground, but it's a tired carry, and he's still on his feet. He's able to release and get that jackal.
And that's testament to the energy that Leinster insist that you must have if they're to break you down. This is a Bulls side, remember, that have outscored everybody in the league in terms of tries and points, but they're finding it really difficult to break this Leinster team down, even just to stay in the contest.
Absolutely, and they've made line breaks, but Leinster are willing to give up line breaks, you know, to make you be under pressure, but they'll trust their scramble defence, how quickly they get back and get reset, and that's been the big difference between the two teams. The Bulls' try came from a pretty much, you know, a first phase on counter-attack.
Flurry of changes for the Bulls, and there's Dan Sheehan. We knew the bench would have a big impact when you looked at the personnel on it. 5 Irish internationals coming back from the Six Nations victory. Steenkamp, Philco Lowe and Ruan Vermaak have all gone off. And that will go down as something of an unforced error for Curly Aronson, albeit he could see blue in his peripheral vision.
Yeah, it looked like he had it, and he was just calling the mark. I think just slipped out of his hands. Probably too long a kick, really, from Gibson Park. He's not under massive pressure loads of time. He's under no pressure, really. It's just an individual error. You see, it's had a big game, to be fair to him, but that just gives Leinster a lovely invitation to get back into the right area of the field and go score again.
Keep gap, please. Let's go, please. Nothing to wait for.
Confirmation of those switches. 2 of them in the front row, and then directly behind them in the second row, Reinhard Ludwig in for Ruan Vermaak, and but 150 shy of 17,000 in the house tonight in Dublin 4, witnessing a brilliant contest.
Boys, it's like a jigsaw space. We can't have head on head. Got to have a gap to go into. You take left off them, okay?
All new personnel, of course, toe-to-toe in those two front rows.
Good, shoulder out, Lucette, thank you. Crouch! Bind!
6 wins on the bounce, as I said, for the Bulls, and they've taken a few scalps in big wins, Bordeaux and Bristol among them, in European competition in that run, but it's a different tussle tonight up against Leinster at full throttle, as was Jack Conan there. Gibson Park did well, couldn't get his pass away initially, didn't have to. Look at this! The front row combine off with ball. Michael Milne, who scored the 5th, gives it to Dan Sheehan, he scores the 5th, and Leinster, are they home and hosed? You would have to think so.
Yeah, and you know what's been really impressive with Leinster tonight, we already spoke about the defence, but how economical they have been in terms of converting possession into tries and scores. It doesn't feel like it's been 5 tries to 1 better, but just been so ruthless there, and it comes off a really good carry from Conan. You see he gets into Gooston here, and then that leg drive. You know, Bulls lose 3 players off their feet, then another one who comes in to think about Jacqueline, and that's key from Gibson Park being able to get that ball away in contact. And you know Dan Sheehan's got the speed of a winger. Milne does really well because he draws in the replacement hooker Gobbler and then gets that pass away, and from then they're under, they're dead because they haven't refilled that wing with that wing position with a back. It's all front rows running against each other here, and I said it's an unfair advantage because Dan Sheehan doesn't run like a typical front row, and I'm saying that as an ex-one myself, so
I can't but agree in that situation.
20 seconds, okay?
And his tries per game ratio would embarrass many a very good winger, a test winger at that. That's 34 now in 56 appearances. Borderline ridiculous. And the older brother picks up where the younger brother left off. Ross continuing Harry's good work from the kicking tee. That's brilliant.
Number 16, Dan Sheehan.
I don't want to say it's turned into a very good performance from Leinster because they've been good all night, but they're just getting better and better and stronger.
Absolutely, yeah. And the areas that were killing them a little bit, resourcing some of the breakdowns, that scrum has completely turned around, and that's really pleasing for them because they're going to be tested up, in the URC if they want to go win it. They're going to be tested in Europe over the next couple of weeks. Likewise, the Bulls will be obviously receiving Leon in Pretoria next weekend. So this has been a really good test for both teams, and will give them both things to think about this week.
Leinster's next action in the URC is away in South Africa against the Lions first off, and then the Stormers.
Advantage,
they want to go there and get a couple of wins. They've shipped a couple of heavy defeats in South Africa over the last couple of seasons with rotated squads, notably against this opposition. 62 points last year. Crossfield kick was taken by Rob Russell, and somehow he managed not to knock that on. Regather possession and get his pass away to Ross Byrne, and the cavalry are coming here, and it's a long way back there for Chris Smith. Takes his time, and really anywhere will do.
Yeah, but a kick chase from Leinster. Chris Smith had no choice but to get that off the field. First was a nice crossfield kick, but Rob Russell slips and he still gets back up to, he actually doesn't go off his feet completely, he just half trips up, but does well then, gets that ball away to Ross Byrne. He goes for that banana kick, he's open that ball, bounces back out and becomes a fit 22, but you see here Ross Byrne leading the chase, but off camera you have Josh Van Fleet, Ryan Baird, who are just coming into the eye line as well to make sure there's no counter-attack opportunity.
Huge ovation for the incoming Caelan Doris and the outgoing Josh Van der Fleer. Sean O'Brien appreciative of his number 7's contribution.
Yeah, you're 33-14 down, and you see Caelan Doris coming on.
Use a 9!
It's a nice flex from Leo Cullen there.
Let's go.
It's an occupational hazard coming to the place that Leinster like to call Fortress RDS, or at least it's become that. The Bulls, one of few sides in recent seasons to have come here and won. First time back since that semi-final. It doesn't look as though it's going to be a same result. They may, of course, meet down the road. It's a nice burgeoning rivalry between two sides of huge pedigree. Now the angle looks difficult for James Lowe on the bounce. He lost his footing. And what's happening here?
No, wait, don't stop.
Keenan Moody with a two-handed back to his fullback, who can't not have been expecting that. And it's Leinster ball again.
I don't think Keenan Moody was expecting to back off him then again, but
Ross Byrne now flat to the line, and through goes Conan. Has he got a bit of a step up his sleeve? The power will do, and the power will bring the try. And it's been a power play of a game in round 13 on Easter weekend for Leinster, and they have pulled out a serious cracker this evening. What a performance this is turning out to be.
Yeah, and I think Conan's been really good both sides of the ball. Obviously was on the bench for most of the Six Nations games, and had a big impact coming off the bench. But here it's just the options, three forwards on the line that Ross Byrne can hit, and he picks the right option. Just a little hole for Jack Conan, and he has the athleticism to get through. So he goes across two. Bulls trying to come up and blitz, and he runs into that little dog leg. Willie LaRue tries to make that tackle, but Conan was very instrumental in that Dan Sheehan try with his power off the back of the scrum. But here he makes the line break and gets to finish it himself, and great to see him in such good form. Obviously starting for the British and Irish Lions last time they played in South Africa. He's had a little bit of foot or problem with his foot at times where he hasn't had full power in it, but he looks bang on form tonight.
20 seconds.
Ross Byrne with the relatively straightforward task of taking Leinster to 40 points, the threshold reached, and you fancy it may well be breached. They might get a few more on the evidence of the last 5 or 10 minutes. So much power, so much energy. They have been absolutely ruthless and clinical.
Leinster 40, Bulls 40.
Devin Williams is back in.
Release,
past his head
release.
Injury assessment.
Yeah, fine.
10 minutes to go. This is a big statement performance from a Leinster side who led the Bulls by 4 points at the top of the ledger coming into round 13.
Use it, please, 9.
Willie LaRue is after this from a long, long way. Doesn't quite get to the pitch of it. Falls back on the Vodacom Bulls side for Ludwig and taken on by Kutsia. Still toiling and travailing, trying to bring gain line ball for the Bulls here. Smith under a little bit of pressure, had to improvise and get it away to Creel. He's had a good game tonight on both sides of the ball. He's had a good season. So there's that pressure that Keelan Doris brings with that energy off the line.
Yeah, but the previous phase, the Bulls tried to go out the back, tried to get the ball to Witt, but that Leinster defence just came up. This is the knock on in the end. Just has lost it there before contact, but Creel did really well to get back a bit of gain line, but they still lost 5 or 6 metres on the carry. And Jacques Nienaber, obviously the new head coach, or senior coach here, will be delighted with that defensive performance.
Finish off the regular season with games against Ulster and Connacht. It's going to be a home playoff game, you feel, for Leinster.
I need to be able to see it. If I can't see it, he can't. That's better all the way.
And when the Bulls came here and won, as I said, in 2022, it put an end to 4 titles in a row for Leinster. And they've had back-to-back seasons defending no silverware.
Yeah, but I think they actually haven't, sounds a bit stupid, they haven't actually been as impressive this year as they have in previous years in the regular season. Like, they've been in some tough battles, and even tonight I think they've been very economical, but I actually think they're in a better position to go and win something silverware this year because how much stronger the defence is.
And that's where they've seen fit to make the change and hope that it pays dividends. Oh, it's been picked off here by Curly Arons. A little bit of a freebie for the winger. He's played exceptionally well tonight, and that's a straightforward finish for a player of his quality and standards, but he'll absolutely take it.
Yeah, and we saw earlier on in the game, you know, Creel was unlucky to drop an interception, but Arons, he's not going to turn down a gift like that.
I didn't see a kick to the head.
Leinster just overplaying. Obviously, the result is in hand at Skipson Park. It's a big part of his game, actually, is his ability to fire those passes across bodies, both deep when opposition are expecting a box kick and the wings are a little bit deeper, and also in the 22 where he just finds space. But this time, Arons was able to read that and just gets in that passing lane, and it's a consolation score for the Bulls.
Yeah, no problem.
I agree with your point, though, and maybe just on a night like tonight when we're seeing 2 quality oppositions, yes, the Bulls have fallen away a little bit in what they can bring off the bench to live with Leinster, but the table is so stacked because quality sides are taking points off each other almost every week, and it's not really, Leinster can't afford to cruise through 15 or 16 games and nobody lands a shot on them.
No, absolutely not. It's been a great competition so far now. You know, there's going to be some really interesting matchups in the knockout stages. And both these teams are real contenders. I mean, the Bulls, I wouldn't lose too much heart from tonight. I mean, they've shown areas where they've been very much a team capable of competing and being better than Leinster in certain areas. What's happening here now?
So you know my live stance, but I think it's worth clearing off. It's been shown a couple of times. For me, the player dives on the floor as the player's going to kick it, but we'll just double check the timing on that.
So simultaneous, you're saying now, the dive to the player coming through?
Yeah, from the angle I saw, yes. Okay. It'll come up on the screen shortly.
Yeah,
so we're checking with Ben Whitehouse quite what will be revealed momentarily. Okay, so it's you can see the grimace on the face of Ross Byrne as he gets a little bit of a kick here from Curtly Arons.
There is contact.
Yeah, Craig. We'll just play at full speed now, just to spec the time in.
Yes, please. Yeah, he's definitely going to the ball, but at the time that he goes to kick the ball with his left foot, Blue is already on the ball. Okay, potentially unfortunate, but he does make contact.
Personally, I actually have any massive issue with that.
I agree.
I'd play on. I don't think
it's very dangerous at the time, but in fact he's kicked him. I'm on a penalty, but a raise the try. Do you agree? Are you happy there, Ben, what we've said?
Yeah, no, it's an opinion, yes, so I agree with what you're saying, mate.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we're going to cancel the try.
So the try is going to be chalked off.
Okay, thank you.
Curly Arons won't get his second of the evening. You saw him shake his head.
Okay, boys, let me just explain it. Bit of a funny one, gets the timing slightly wrong. Blue is on the ball as the foot comes through, so he has made contact. I don't see it highly dangerous, but it is a penalty. I do see it as foul play, so I'm going to cancel the try, and the penalty's going to be on the 15-metre line. Okay? No try.
I think it's one of those ones. Personally, I'm hoping to be challenged on this. Is that if that's not a try, no one ever looks at that again. Do you know what I mean? It's just a Rugby incident. Any ball that goes on the ground is liable to be fly hacked, and okay, Ross Byrne gets there, wins the race, but I think there's marginal contact on the side of his body.
No, I'd have to agree. I think Curly Arons almost pulls his kick.
He tries to pull out.
Yeah,
he tries to pull out. And,
that's how I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just again, it's not something that's like the foul play really, and they're not going to be looked at unless there's a try involved a phase later.
Away 20.
And if you're a Bulls fan, you say that's not going to happen if that match is played in Pretoria.
Release!
You know, that's the problem.
Release!
Exactly, that's the discourse it leads to, and we're all for TMO interventions for head contacts and dangerous play and so on and so forth. But yeah, look, we could probably live without that one. That's a forward pass, is it, from Turner to Rob Russell, back inside to his mate from Murrad came. And Turner canters in, and having had a try chalked off just seconds ago, the Bulls have given up their 7th, and Leinster score via the replacement Liam Turner. Lovely switch play between him and Russell.
And you said giving up 7, Conor. They kind of gave up that try as well. Just didn't fill the field, got very narrow, and all evening Leinster have looked brilliant going from left to right. And it was a walk-in the end for Liam Turner, who's always been good when he's had a chance with Leinster, but Rob Russell has really had an outstanding game. But just see here, it's just that pass from Liam Turner actually puts him away, but you see Willie LaRue is switched off, the cover from the inside is non-existent, and I just think they felt when that try was scratched off, look at, this game is done here, but they've conceded another 7. Look, it's going to be hard for Rob Russell to get game time as you go into the end of the season, with obviously Jimmy O'Brien to come back, Hugo Keane to come back. That means Jordan Larmour will become a wing option, but certainly tonight he's been excellent in everything he's done.
And as a prolific try-scoring winger, he'll be a little bit annoyed that he's not actually got his name on the try sheet, but it's been probably one of his better performances of the season. All-round game, he's been exceptional. But it has been, as I said a few moments ago, a real statement of intent from Leinster. A lot of hype about the game. I'm not sure that the semi-final playoff defeat from 2 years ago would have featured heavily in anybody's team talks during the week. They won't have needed that, but Leinster don't forget. They don't like losing at home here, and they've set that right this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been a really positive performance for them, particularly the challenge of reintegrating all those internationals, all those Six Nations winners.
Yes.
And they have looked on the same page quite quickly, even with all the substitutions. Obviously, you're bringing on quality, but you know, this will give them plenty of confidence that they're ready, you know, for what's about to come over the next 2 months.
Back 5.
Certainly those were the comments made by Paul O'Connell actually this week in respect particularly of Leinster, that so much of what they do in an Ireland camp is very close, albeit with the Jacques Nienaber tweaks, more than tweaks really, in terms of that defensive system, but a lot of it is muscle memory.
Release Blue.
Trailing by 2 points at half time, remember. The Bulls will have felt they should have and maybe did score in the second half, but they haven't registered on the scoreboard. It's a big problem, and just that one real counter attack in the 34th minute, and that's looked their best weapon, and that's what they're showing again here. Creel just dinks one through. Gibson Park gets his pass away, and Jordan Larmour now, has he got a little bit of freshness in the legs? Lovely little dink through. I thought he might kick it again. Needs support. The support does get there. Gibson Park gets his pass away. How did Baird keep that alive? James Lowe. Bulls are out on their feet now around the park. It's a very disjointed defensive line, trudging back at times.
Yeah, I think the pack will be hoping this ball goes out. No, he's missed touch. They're sitting ducks here if Leinster shift this ball across.
Osborne.
Happy to kick it.
Oh, blew it.
Crossfield kick, and the Leinster players are retreating. Still has to be defended. Moody thumps it down towards that Leinster 22. Ross Byrne takes a gamble. He gets away with it. Maybe a little bit more than that. Rob Russell now. 79th minute of the game. He hasn't stopped all evening. Ball is out. Is it? Not quite.
Out. You're offside. It's not clearly out.
It's funny in that little kick chase there. Both packs were just like hoping Ross Byrne, or certainly the Leinster pack were hoping Ross Byrne would kick it out there, but he wants to beat his man. So the Bulls have one last shot at it. Jake White's had enough. He's heading towards the dressing room.
Yeah, he'll be bitterly disappointed with the outcome of this game and what they've got from it. Started brightly.
Referee's injured. You have to make a sub.
Yeah, good difference.
A bit of ice on the ankle.
He's only got a minute or two to see it out, Craig Evans.
Yeah,
he was probably cursing Rossburn as well. he needed a bit of treatment. But this is brilliant. Again, Leinster just looking to go from deep, and it's the offload here from Gibson Park. Larmour getting caught. Oh, there's where he goes down there. He gets a bang. Just here clips. Oh, it's nasty actually. He rolls his ankle badly.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be Johnny Carville is obviously the fourth division here. He has to change his boots. So Johnny Carville goes onto the touch line as assistant referee Chris Busby. We've got 50 seconds.
Just on the line, yeah. Okay, on the line, Blue, please. On the line.
So change of voice.
Fellas? 5.
In the air, Chris Busby will see out the remainder of the game. Leinster on the defensive. Johan Grobler to try and hit his jumpers. Well, it's disappointing for Craig Evans. Let's hope it's nothing too serious, but it looked just enough ankle roll.
That's it. Leinster play one phase here.
Okay, lost wide. Hold here.
I might play two maybe. Yeah, Rossburn's just going to kill this game off here.
Onside, please, wide.
10 seconds. It's been a comprehensive, emphatic second half display from Leinster. They were right in the contest for the opening 40 and a little bit more than that. In fact, they turned around trailing to the Vodacom Bulls by 14 points to 12 at half-time.
Well, Chris Busby's not happy. He wants a bit more game time.
Fellas, time is not up. Time Peters confirmed it's a scrum.
You see, there's 2 clocks here.
Yeah.
Rossburn was looking at the match clock.
Just confirmed time isn't up, yeah.
So the match clock's down the bottom end of the field.
Okay, yeah.
And that's why Rossburn was happy.
Just confirmed time wasn't up, yeah. Okay, it's confirmed. We're playing the scrum. Let's go.
How are we meant to know, sir?
Yes, I think he's about two or three seconds off on the clock we were going on.
2 seconds off.
But I thought he might just let it go.
Let's go.
Slow bind to set.
Neither team can get it. The Bulls can't get a bonus point here.
No, if they were sitting on 3 tries, you could build a little bit of narrative around the next phase of play, but at best it might be a consolation score.
Both of you head up, yeah.
Scant consolation, really. European matters in the back of the minds with Leon and Pretoria Loftus next week, and then it's at home to Munster. Jake White's been in the dressing room a long time on his own at this stage.
Yeah, someone tell Jake to go back.
Fine!
He'd have a TV in there, to be fair.
The man's not for turning.
Too much weight, far side. Far side, too much weight.
We'll quite happily watch a minute or 2 extra of this, even if it is pick and jam stuff from a couple of meters out.
Away 16. That's in, still in.